Hi guys.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday. This is my husband Andrew. I said he'd be on tonight. Not as willingly as I was hoping, but he's here.
Yes, I fought it.
Yeah, so today was a really hard day. I was crying a lot of the day and my head just hurt, so um, I asked him to be on today to help me do this video because I want to be honoring to being on. I'm sorry I didn't go live this week. I just yeah, I'm not feeling the 100%. So this is only take two though, so that's the good part. But yeah, I'm not even sure what to talk about. Honestly, that was kind of why I was hoping to have somebody on with me, and so I'm kind of putting Andrew on the spot because we didn't talk about this ahead of time on what to talk about. But yeah, got anything?
Yeah, no, it's difficult coming on without having an idea of anything to talk about. Um, and I don't know. I was just thinking just now, and maybe that's a good topic. Is talking about when you don't know what's going on, what the Lord isn't showing you what you want to know.
Mm.
Um, when you want to know the journey and even the next destination, but you're just kind of feels like you're wandering and lost. Um, yeah, it's a hard place to be, but yeah, maybe that will spark something for you.
Um, Sorry, I'm getting all teary eyed. Yeah, yeah, I think it's hard when you don't know what the next step is in life or why things are happening and why you're going through something, and trusting God in that process. Um, it just, I think, because it hits so close to home right now with my walk, um, and not feeling well, and still trying to. I realize there's still a lot of control I want personally, to know why this is happening, what I'm doing wrong, like as if I'm doing something wrong, even though the Lord says I'm not. It's really hard not to feel like we had to talk about that.
You just came up.
It's hard to feel like I'm not failing, um, and it's not my fault. So yeah, so I think it is a hard thing. I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm sure we've all experienced having people, pressuring us, wanting to know what's going on in our life, or what's our future look like, where's our next step, but we don't always have the answer, and it's difficult to answer people. Not a lot of people are willing to accept the answer of like I don't know, and to be okay with that. And it's so therefore it's hard for us to be okay with it when we're used to the pressure. We feel like we have to have an answer, or feel like we have to have it all together. Just
Right.
even coming on here, I'm not all put together, and I'm not a diva necessarily, but I am a little bit in my own way. I guess I am for a guy. But it is hard coming on here and not knowing what you're going to talk about, not being put together. It's hard to record it for people to watch. You go to a party or somewhere and you can have time to prepare and get yourself together at least somewhat. But yeah, and you might get messy before you get there, and then but you have a choice to go into the party or not. So yeah, it's hard to be open and vulnerable with not nice looking places in our lives, but I think that's where the Lord shows up, um, and that's where He is. So
Yeah, I think it's funny because it's hard to be vulnerable with people, but that's what we want from other people, or what we would like to see with other people is for them to be themselves and be vulnerable and be okay. but to do it yourself is really hard. Getting on these videos is really hard, so I'm happy somebody else is experiencing how difficult they are.
I'm really proud of Stephanie for doing this. It's not easy, that's for sure. For opening her life and what she's gone through, the things she's experienced, and the things she's walking through. It'd be nice to have, some of it cleaned up and pretty, but to share what's going on in your walk at the moment is not easy.
Yeah.
But for me, I try to share for myself and join the team. It's been difficult for me in a lot of different ways, and I've definitely fought it. I know I have, anger because I don't like having to go through it. I don't like having to deal with feeling out of control or what's going on. Wishing it was different and being upset, I guess, that I can't control it. It's definitely been difficult watching Stephanie go through what she's going through, and I think I find myself trying to control it in my own way of, making sure the food is safe and not contaminated that she eats, so she can stay, in a good place, stay healthy as she can be. So it's hard not to want to control things, and whatever that control might be, how you look on a video or whatever. I fought her even tonight. I was like, I'll come on next week, but I said, okay, never mind, I'll go for it. Because she was really needing help, so
and I appreciate it. Yeah, I think my brain doesn't feel like it's working tonight.
Yeah, no, I think for me, as far as career and job situation, there's a lot of pressure on me. As we just got married a few months ago, and so for me to not, provide for myself and my wife as far as a conventional husband, how it should look, quote unquote. But I'm thankful for Stephanie, for my wife, because she's willing to walk the journey of faith. And it's difficult because it feels wrong at times. It feels like it is wrong, but we believe that the Lord has us here, and so it's difficult for me when having to tell people and knowing they think it's wrong. Just trusting the Lord that He has us in the right place, and when it's tough financially, you think, oh, it must be wrong. We do need to, do it the way the world says we should, and it's not even the world, but the way that people around us say that we should do things. But it's not. Everybody has their own path and journey. But I know for a lot of us, it's the feeling in control to be able to do it the way we know it looks like, the way we've seen others do it, because we know it works for them, and so that's what we should do. But that's not what the Lord has called us to. And so I'm thankful for Stephanie to continue to walk the walk of faith with me. And as hard as it is financially, or any situation, all the things that go on, because it is hard for me to, I feel like a failure at times, and I think a lot of it is subconscious. But I guess I'll share a little bit of my story. I had a pool cleaning business, and it ended up going under slowly for a long time, and it was painful. I was trying to make it work, and it just kept not working. And eventually I got down to, so few clients that I got down to one client actually, and I told him, okay, I'm done. Like, my business I'm stopping, and you can find somebody else. And I definitely dealt with depression after, and different things. So I think still I'm a work in progress with feeling like a failure. And I think I would say how I was raised, but I think it's in our culture so deeply of feeling like you have to do things the right way, or for me it felt like I had to be perfect essentially. And I think for each one of us, we probably can relate to feeling like having to do things to be perfect, whether it's looks for women, having to look a certain way, or act a certain way, maintain a level of whatever it is, being nice to people so they'll accept you. It's difficult to be ourselves without masks, and wanting people to accept us. So I don't know, we're all a work in progress, but yeah, kind of got off the the subject there, but feeling like a failure, I think touches a lot of different situations and scenarios, and so we do a lot of things to avoid failing. And yeah, so you got anything?
No, that's good. I agree. I think we have false expectations on ourselves sometimes. Like, we'll put because we feel like people will have expectations of us, but really it's expectations we have of ourselves of what we think is acceptable sometimes, and then that causes us to feel like more of a failure. At least that's what I feel like as I've been walking this out with my health stuff, is I feel like a failure, but because I have these expectations of what a wife should be like, and how I should be, and what I should be doing, and then I can't do certain things, and things aren't happening the way I want them to. So but you've never said I'm a failure, but I feel like I'm a failure because I have these expectations that I'm failing, that are not really ones that you've ever put on me or anybody else has. So I think we have these ones that are sometimes in our own minds, and so yeah, because I know, yeah, and then it just keeps spiraling, at least for me. If that made sense. Anyway, yeah, but you're not a failure. Yeah, our walk isn't a conventional walk, a normal walk, but we do the Lord shows up though all the time. I mean, there's times that there's like no money, and I'm like, Jesus. I'm freaking out, and mind you, I've been doing this walking with him, like this crazy just walk of faith for years, but when things come up, I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? I said I'm going to get a job, and then I'll go and try, and usually something comes up, like a position to go help somebody else out, and then they pay us, or somebody will just give us money, like, I mean, however the Lord wants to provide, or or somebody calls and says they're going to help you pay your Amazon because they've been using it. Like, he just shows up in different ways. And so it's just, I think that's part of that letting go of control of how things should look. And I'm a work in progress, and I'm not perfect at it. And so, yeah.
So how do we move forward? How do we go about it?
Let go. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's easy to say what to do, but really to walk it out, you have to let go. You have to let go of the expectations. You have to let go of the control. You have to let go of what you think it's going to look like, or what it should look like, or how it's going to work out. Because, yeah, you just have to let go. And letting go is so hard to do for everybody. It's hard for me. and I'll let something go, and then 2 seconds later I pick it back up, and the Lord's like, I didn't tell you to pick it back up.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think?
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone, I'm sure. But in general, yeah, letting go. I think it's walking with the Lord, but like you said, letting go and letting Him do it how He thinks it should look, because we're all different, and so it's we need something different, and the Lord knows what we need. So yeah, even now I think I'm feeling like the Lord is speaking to me on for myself of just letting go of, and again, it's that thing of not knowing what it looks like, letting go and letting the Lord take care of it when He wants to, how He wants to, because I know I have things in me that need to be dealt with, but in the past I've tried to, I would just overanalyze things and take it to the Lord, and He would meet me there. He would meet me in that place, and He would help me deal with stuff. But I don't think that is how He wants to continue things with me. I think He wants me to be free and not have control, and to trust Him. And He met me in that place, but I didn't realize, and He never told me I was doing wrong. But He let me do it, but now there's a better way that He's leading me into. And so wherever you're at, there's no wrong place. It's as long as you're just open to the Lord and you're walking with Him. That's all it is. That's all that matters.
Right. It's funny because I thought of I saw a pottery, like a potter and his clay, and God wants to just mold us in the way that He wants to, but we're like the piece of clay that's just trying to do its own thing. Like He's like, let me just mold you and do what I need to here, but instead we're trying to change it up, some move different places, do things our own way. Like I saw the clay moving itself. I was like, oh, that does not look okay.
And then it messes things up, and
yeah.
He comes along and patiently fixes it.
Right. He's like, okay, let me smooth that area out. Make it better.
Right. That's good.
Yeah, so let Him be the potter, and we be the clay. And just crazy. Rest in Him. So.
And we don't even know that we messed it up because He's so patient and loving.
Right.
We never see that. He never condemns us for doing wrong. So that's really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm my first guest.
I'm honored. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. Things are coming on.
This is fun.
Yeah, see? It's not scary. It is still. But
yes. It was good.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us. Well, unless you have something else to say.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good this week. So, yeah, let the Lord be our potter this week, and allow Him just to come in the areas that He needs to, and move in the way that He needs to. I know I need to let go some more. So, yeah, thank you for being vulnerable and open, and we love you guys, and yeah, have a good week. Bye.
Bye.